At the beginning of the story, we see a group of terrorists traveling in several vehicles with small children. These children were taken from a local convoy in the same area. The terrorists had abducted them to increase their own power, planning to train them through brutal and dangerous methods from a young age. But what they didn't know was that skilled Turkish snipers were already hidden at their destination. They were about to learn just how deadly these marksmen could be. As soon as the convoy approached, sniper shots rang out from nowhere, one after another. In seconds, the terrorists were struck down, their forces collapsing before they even realized what had happened. Within just 30 seconds, the snipers had wiped out every single one of them. Unbelievable, isn't it? Let's count the kills. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All gone in moments. After the chaos, the leader of the sniper unit stepped out from hiding. His name was Captain Visbasi. We soon discovered that this commando captain had a long and bitter history with this particular terrorist group. Their conflict wasn't just professional, it was deeply personal. Behind their rivalry lay more than one tragic story. So let's go back to where it all began. In a flashback, on a dark and rainy night, two Turkish commandos, Yasar and Demir, were hiding in a dense forest. Their only companion was Yasar's loyal military dog, Messi. They weren't there by accident. During an earlier patrol, their team had been ambushed by a local terrorist group. All their fellow commandos were killed in the attack. Only Yasar and Demir managed to survive, taking cover behind parked vehicles and fighting back. Meanwhile, the brave dog Messi was helping them by collecting weapons from fallen enemies and bringing them bullets. Yes, this dog wasn't just a pet, he was a true soldier. Back at the base, another commando named Karan was requesting permission from General Osman to rescue the two trapped soldiers. The general approved the mission, and Karan's rescue team set out during the night. By dawn, they reached the combat zone and began tracking Yasar and Demir's location. At the same time, Yasar and Demir feared another enemy assault. Out of bullets, they prepared to fight with knives. Just then, the enemy appeared, but before they could strike, Karan's team opened fire from behind, taking them by surprise. Hearing the gunfire, the dog Messi barked loudly. That's when Karan realized his men were close by. He called out their names, and Yasar and Demir finally knew they were safe. They came out from behind the vehicles and warned Karan that there was a nearby enemy camp preparing for another attack. Karan quickly led his team toward the extraction helicopter. But suddenly, the terrorists launched RPGs, scattering the soldiers in every direction. And this is where the real deadly mission began. Karan divides his team into 3 groups. One team positions itself with a sniper. The other 2 teams hide in the grass, scanning for enemies. One by one, the enemies start falling to precise headshots. Then, a sudden bullet strikes one of Karan's commandos in the chest. Karan immediately orders everyone to retreat and carry the wounded soldier to the helicopter. Meanwhile, Yasar calls out for his loyal dog, Messi, but Messi doesn't move. Yasar runs toward him, lifts him up, and rushes to the helicopter. At the same time, Karan continues to hunt down enemies hidden in the grass, eliminating them one after another. Once everyone is aboard the helicopter, the injured commando receives first aid. The team begins their return to base. But then Karan notices Yasar's leg bleeding heavily. Soon, they realize the heartbreaking truth. During the crossfire, a bullet had also hit Messi in the stomach, and the brave dog hadn't shown any sign of pain. Yasar looks down to see his beloved companion lying lifeless in his lap. The love of such innocent creatures is truly pure and selfless. They sacrifice their lives without hesitation for those they love. Everyone tries to console Yasar. Even in victory, he carries deep sorrow back to base. In the next scene, we meet a Turkish female commando named Yasmin Albay. She departs for Azerbaijan, as most of the terrorist groups threatening Turkey have roots there. Her mission is to seek cooperation and permission from the Azerbaijani military. On her way, she reviews files of Turkey's best-trained commandos to decide who should lead the next critical operation. While going through the files, she comes across Karan's record, the same hero from our story. She immediately calls him to ask if he's ready for the mission. Karan confidently replies that he'll be ready the moment the order arrives. For him, there's no compromise when it comes to protecting the nation. No matter who the enemy is, his rifle won't hesitate before taking them down. Little does he know, this one decision will change everything. Hearing Karan's response, Commando Yasmin selects him for the deadly mission. She contacts her general and recommends that Karan be given full command of the operation. Meanwhile, Karan understands he's about to face one of the most dangerous gangs in the region. He knows he has no choice but to see it through. Later, he meets Yasar and Demir. Yasar is still grieving the loss of his loyal dog, Messi. Karan motivates him and urges both men to prepare for the mission ahead. At the same time, the general begins briefing his lieutenant on the details of the upcoming operation. Meanwhile, Yasmin reaches Azerbaijan and, after securing military approval, begins her journey back to Turkey. But mid-air, her helicopter comes under heavy RPG fire. The aircraft spirals out of control and crashes hard into the ground. As the smoke clears, the surviving commandos crawl out of the wreckage. They see armed Azerbaijani gang members approaching fast, firing from their vehicles. To survive, the commandos return fire with precision. The gang leader mounts a heavy machine gun and and unleashes a barrage of bullets. The commander spots rounds striking the helicopter's fuel tank, realizing the situation is about to turn catastrophic. He immediately pulls the pilot away from the helicopter. At that exact moment, the fuel tank explodes with a massive blast. The explosion throws both the commando and the pilot several feet away, leaving them unconscious. A short while later, the same terrorist gang arrives at the crash site and revives them. The gang leader mistakes the pilot for a senior officer and demands to know their connection with the Azran military, but the pilot truly knows nothing. When he refuses to answer, the gang leader executes him on the spot with a blank shot. Seeing this brutal act, the commander grabs his weapon and opens fire. He takes down 3 or 4 terrorists before he is overpowered. The remaining gang members capture him and drag him to their hideout. Meanwhile, the lieutenant informs Karen that Turkey's most wanted terrorist, Gar, is also hiding at the same base. No matter who the enemy is, foreign or local, they will face justice. The lieutenant authorizes the mission immediately. Before leaving, Karan decides to visit his family. It's here we learn that Karan once had an elder brother who was also a commando. That brother went on a mission against this very same gang and never returned. Karan's mother begs him not to go, fearing she will lose another son. But Karan explains to her that he must do this for his country, to rid it of those who threaten its peace. He assures her that this mission isn't just his duty, it's his purpose. After an emotional farewell, Karan returns to his unit and begins preparing for battle. Karan briefs his team about the mission and makes them swear an oath. No one will retreat until their last breath. With determination in their eyes, the commandos move out. They climb through rough mountain terrain and reach the target zone. There, they set up sniper positions, watching every movement of the enemy camp below. Through his scope, Karan spots several vehicles approaching. Among them is a notorious terrorist named Ogar. Karan asks his spotter for the wind speed and distance. The spotter quickly calculates the data. Karan takes aim, fires a precise shot, and hits the target directly in the head. The rest of the team attacks from behind, eliminating the remaining enemies in seconds. Bodies pile up and the surviving terrorists panic, fleeing in their vehicles. As the last of the enemies escape, Karan and his team advance toward the base. While searching the area, one of the commandos makes a horrifying discovery. Karan radios the lieutenant through the satellite phone, reporting that they have neutralized terrorist Ogar. But as the soldiers search the bodies, they realize the shocking truth. The man Karan killed with that perfect headshot isn't Ogar. It's his long-lost brother, Kabir. No one dares to tell Karan at first. Finally, one of his men gathers the courage to reveal the truth. Karan rushes to the body, kneels down, and sees his brother's face. Overcome with grief, he breaks down in tears, cradling Kabir's body in his lap. He apologizes again and again, devastated by what he's done. Meanwhile, Lady Commando Yasmin has fallen into the hands of the terrorists. Seeing Karan's condition, his teammates are shattered and lose focus on the mission. Back at Turkish Army headquarters, the general and lieutenant receive tragic reports. Yasmin has been captured by a local gang, and Karan has accidentally killed his own brother. The question now is what orders should be given in such a heartbreaking situation. Late at night, several army officers arrive at Karen's home. They bring devastating news. Their long-lost son has been found, but he is no longer alive. Hearing this, Karan's father collapses in tears and his mother passes away from grief. No one dares to tell him that his elder son was accidentally killed by his younger son. Meanwhile, Karan is shattered by the deaths of both his brother and mother. Unable to bear the pain, he resigns from his commando duties and returns home. His teammates try to convince him that it wasn't his fault, that it was a tragic accident, but his mind is clouded by guilt. He angrily tells them to leave him alone. The team, however, knows that leaving him isolated will only destroy him further. After much persuasion, they accompany him back to his home. At the same time, in a terrorist base in Azerbaijan, Lady Commando Yasmin is being brutally tortured. The gang leader interrogates her, demanding classified information. When she refuses to answer, he contacts a Turkish general and threatens that if she stays silent, she will never see her homeland again. But the general responds calmly, saying she will lead the next day's assault and wishes her good luck. Hearing this, Yasmin instantly understands what her superior means. Moments later, a terrorist charges at her with a knife. She swiftly counters, disarming him and knocking him unconscious. 2 guards stationed outside hear the commotion and rush inside. Yasmin grabs their weapons and takes them down before they can react. She then calls the general to report the situation. Impressed by her courage, the general orders her to return to base immediately. As the terrorist leader regains consciousness, he screams in rage and calls for reinforcements. Soon, chaos erupts as a heavy tank attack begins. Explosions tear through the compound and the terrorists run for their lives amid the destruction. Yasmin takes control of the tank and annihilates the entire base before making her escape. Moments later, a Turkish rescue helicopter arrives and safely extracts her from the battlefield. Meanwhile, in Turkey, the burial ceremony for Karan's mother and brother takes place at a military cemetery. The major offers condolences to Karen's father and urges him to return to the army, if not for the nation, then at least to avenge his son's death. Karan remains silent, his eyes filled with sorrow. That night, he finally confesses the painful truth to his father. It was his own bullet that ended his brother's life. life. His father stands frozen, speechless, unable to comprehend the tragedy. At that moment, Lady Commando Yasmin arrives at Karan's house. She pleads with him not to make any impulsive decisions out of grief. She hands back his resignation letter and says, "Please, just once, come back to the army. We need you to help us find and destroy those terrorists." But Karan refuses. He says he will no longer return to military service and will spend the rest of his life with his father. He closes the door behind him. After all, who could live peacefully knowing they accidentally took their own brother's life? Karan prays for his brother's soul, drowning in regret. He spends his days staring at his brother's photograph, haunted by memories. The next morning, Lady Commando Yasmin informs the general that Karan and his team will not be returning to duty. The general realizes he has no time left and is forced to form a new team. The terrorist network has spread across Turkey and is rapidly expanding its reach beyond the borders. He gives the commandos a file and informs them that their first mission will be to eliminate the terrorist leader, Albek. The general hands over all of Albek's details to Yasmin and grants official authorization for the operation. Meanwhile, Karan's father urges him to return to the army. He tells his son to avenge his brother's death and to protect the country, reminding him that as long as terrorists roam free, countless homes will continue to lose their children. Hearing his father's heartfelt words, Karan changes his mind. He promises that if he cannot avenge his brother's death, he will never return home again. At the same time, Lady Commando Yasmin begins preparing her new team of soldiers for the mission. Just then, Karan walks in. Seeing him back in uniform fills everyone with hope and pride. The commandos salute him with renewed energy. In the presence of the general, all the commandos take an oath with their weapons held high. They vow to fight for their country until their last breath and to free their homeland from terrorism once and for all. The mission ahead is not just dangerous, it's nearly impossible. This enemy network is vast and deeply rooted, and taking them down completely will require immense courage and time. Meanwhile, at the terrorist base in Azran, Albek angrily questions his followers about the destruction of their camp. One terrorist nervously explains that a single female Turkish commando was responsible for their downfall. Hearing this, Albek becomes furious. He strangles the man and shouts, "If one woman could destroy everything, imagine what she could do if she led the entire mission. You are useless to me, and you don't deserve to live." Back at the Turkish base, Yasmin, the commando captain, gathers her team and briefs them on the upcoming operation. She explains each mission point in detail, marking all the enemy locations on the map. The plan includes 2 sniper units. One team will take ground positions, while the second will position themselves on a nearby mountain or bridge with heavy weapons to cover from above. Every move must be precise. There is no room for error. The terrorist group they are facing is unlike any other. They are heavily armed with machine guns and dangerous explosives. The team's objective is clear: one perfect headshot for every target. After reviewing the plan, the soldiers load their weapons and set out for the final mission. Meanwhile, terrorist leader Albek arrives with his gang at a local village. He orders his men to open fire, killing innocent villagers without mercy. Children are captured as the people scream for help. Albek shouts, "I need more soldiers to build my army. Bring me every boy in this area." His men round up the children, forcing them into vehicles, and shoot anyone who tries to resist. As they move through the village, Albek orders houses to be burned to the ground. After capturing all the children, Albek and his men head back toward their base. His plan is to train the boys into ruthless fighters and expand his reign of terror. Meanwhile, the commando unit splits into 2 groups and takes up positions along the road, ready to strike. Early in the morning, Albek and his convoy arrive at a narrow road and find the path ahead blocked by large stones. As they stop, a child in one of the vehicles notices something strange buried in the mud. Sensing danger, Albek quickly orders his men to take a nearby alternate route. They begin moving along the side road, unaware that a deadly trap awaits them. Within moments, sniper fire erupts from every direction. Precise bullets cut through the silence, striking down the terrorists one after another. The ambush is swift and brutal. Within just 30 seconds, the commandos eliminate the entire gang. Realizing the situation is hopeless, Albek dives under a vehicle to save himself from the incoming fire. Once the battle ends, the commandos step out from their positions and approach the area cautiously. Albek spots a gun lying nearby and tries to reach for it, but before he can grab it, Captain Karen steps on his hand and drags him out from beneath the vehicle. Albek glares at him and says, "Do you really think this ends here? You have no idea who you're dealing with. Going against me means certain death." Karan remains calm and orders his men to tie Albek up. He tells them that before anything else, they must safely reunite the captured children with their families. The commandos escort Albek back to the convoy. There, they return all the rescued children to their parents, bringing relief and tears of joy to the villagers. Once the children are safe, Karen points his gun at Albek and says, "This sacred land has no place for people like you. Tell me your last wish." Albek smirks and replies, "Just wait 20 minutes, I'll show you my true power." Karan looks him in the eye and says, "Fine, show me whatever strength you have left, because today, nothing will save you from me." With those words, Karen loads his rifle and ends it swiftly with 3 precise headshots. The display of skill and discipline by the commandos is nothing short of extraordinary. Moments later, a vehicle approaches from a distance. A young girl steps out, followed by an older man who seems familiar to the convoy. He questions the soldiers about what happened. The girl quietly walks toward the group, and all the commandos focus their attention on her. Holding her weapon, Karen watches her closely. The girl starts distributing chocolates from her bag to the rescued children. The soldiers observe her behavior from a distance, uneasy about her sudden appearance. Karan instructs one of his men to inspect the vehicle carefully, suspecting something unusual. A commando moves toward the car to investigate. Meanwhile, at the nearby camp, a female commando monitoring the area through a drone spots a large group of terrorists advancing rapidly toward Karan's position. She immediately tries to contact him over the radio, but the signal doesn't reach. There's no network in their location. Without wasting time, she contacts the female sniper stationed near Karen on the bridge. Captain Yasmin quickly explains the situation and warns her about the incoming attack. Realizing the urgency, the female sniper sprints toward Karan's position and shouts his name to alert him. Meanwhile, the girl slowly steps in front of Karen, clutching her bag tightly. Karan places his hand on his weapon and begins to draw it out cautiously. At that moment, one of the commandos notices something alarming. The vehicle parked nearby is loaded with explosives, and the timer is counting down rapidly. On one side, a massive wave of terrorists is advancing toward them. On the other, the commando team faces the terrifying reality of an imminent explosion. The tension rises as every second ticks closer to disaster. And with that, season 1 of this thrilling story comes to an end. The next season will reveal how the brave commandos survived the explosion, rescued the convoy, and wiped out the entire terrorist network. Believe me, what's coming next will take the story to a whole new level. So before you go, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel. Your support truly means the world and helps us keep bringing you more powerful stories like this one. Drop a comment below and tell us what kind of movie explanations or stories you'd love to see next. Stay tuned, stay strong, and see you in the next season.